Hello guys, welcome to Nose Nose. First of all, if you are a beginner, welcome, or if you're a veteran. Point is that like this video is more suited towards beginners, so if you're a veteran collector and you're here, I am honored. Thank you very much. Okay, now I'll give you my opinion on this raging debate. It's not really a debate. The point is this: some people are against clone houses nowadays. They are more focused on like originality and whatnot. And my point is this: let's take a fragrance and go through its journey, how it came to be, and then let's compare. Is it really like a modern problem, or has it always been like this? Now, the fragrance I have in the niche category is this one. This is Shaik 77. This is an older Middle Eastern fragrance. This came out in, I think, 2006, if I'm not mistaken. This has like a vibe similar to Individuel from Mont Blanc, or maybe Original Santal from Creed. That kind of like a fruity, kind of syrupy, sweet deal to it. And I am, of course, you can see the full note breakdown on the internet. The point is this: was this fragrance original? Was it groundbreaking? It's an expensive fragrance. It's like upwards, I don't know, like $250, $300 should be right now. I didn't check, but when I bought it, like when I got it back in the day, this was an expensive fragrance. Now, was it always like this? Is it like, does it justify the fact that it's okay, it's like a $300 fragrance, it has to be original, it has to have like crazy quality? Not all the time. This fragrance has good quality, right? It has very, very, very nice presentation, crazy presentation. I'll put like a picture on the screen. I have to dig it up from the closet, but point is this: this fragrance has very good presentation. It has like a little gemstone on the cap. It has these little writings. I don't know if you can see it or if I destroyed the focus of the camera. I don't know, but very beautiful, right? But ultimately, when we talk about fragrances, you're talking about the juice, right? If the juice is right, then we say the fragrance is fantastic. Now, in terms of niche fragrances, of course, you expect them to have very good quality. You expect them to be original and unique, hence niche. But that's not always the case, and that's the point, right? We have clear rip-offs, or as they call it, like inspiration in niche fragrance houses. And they say like, no, this fragrance is like, I don't mention the name of it, but they say like, okay, this is an original creation. It's not. It smells similar to Lalique White, for example, from a niche house, very popular one. And you get the point. So do you always have to pay a lot for a better presentation, slightly better quality, and originality? Can be, yes. Sometimes a niche fragrance is so interesting, is so unique, that is ahead of its time, or it's like era defining. I like, for example, Philosophes from Diptyque. I believe that fragrance really defined or redefined or reimagined like the green genre of fragrances. You have Aventus, of course, it is the king of niche fragrances, they say. Of course, now it's, you know, more generic because like there are countless clones of it, there are like iterations of it, whatnot, batch numbers or whatnot, they say, but it was groundbreaking. So if it's something like that, yes, absolutely worth it, worth every penny. Buy what you like and really enjoy what comes in the bottle. But if not, then there's no need, right? You don't have to spend a lot of money and get Fierce with a slightly better quality, right? Or Lalique White with slightly better quality. So you get the point. Now, let's move to the designer realm. The fragrance of choice, the fragrance I've chosen for this is Ford Noir. This came out in 2012. It's an older fragrance, to me, it's one of the most delicious fragrances I have seen and I have had over the years. It's just fantastic. Now, point is this: if it was released by the Tom Ford's private blend, you would still buy it, right? They would come out and be advertised like this would come out and be advertised as niche. But is it really that different? Probably not. I reckon sometimes a better quality designer fragrance is way better than spending all that money and get a, like a normal quality niche fragrance, right? This fragrance is like, as of course Tom Ford Noir or fragrances of this stature and of this quality, they deserve to be bought, and they, of course, like any type of money you pay for this, I would say like, yeah, go ahead. Crazy good quality. The scent is unique, it's original, and of course, like, I see why not this should not be called a niche fragrance. You know what I mean? Yes, I know it's not a niche fragrance, but it can be called one just because it's so interesting, and not everyone can pull this off, right? There is thought behind this, there is some effort behind this, there is originality behind this, and so I reckon that, like, okay, yes, sure, sometimes you may get into this argument with someone that, like, no, only niche, or like designers, they suck and they're mass appeal fragrances or whatever. And yes, I agree with that. I agree with it. Most of the designers, well, they want to sell, right? And when they want to sell, they don't go after fragrance heads. They go after like your average Joe on the street, right? The guy puts his nose on it in a Sephora or whatever, and they go woof, and then they gotta pull the trigger and buy it, right? So that's the point. My concern with designer fragrances is the fact that nowadays they are becoming generic. Everyone is going after each other. But true designer fragrances like this one, worth every penny. Every penny. If some of them gets discontinued like these ones, they are even, backup bottle worthy, in my opinion. Fantastic creations. So these are the two broad categories, of course, niche and designer. Here are my thoughts briefly. It's like a very big rabbit hole, right? You can go into like niche designer niche, or whatever they call it nowadays, like the true niche or very niche or whatever the subcategories they come up with. But honestly, like, my whole stance on fragrance, and since I have started collecting, and I've had a lot very different kinds of fragrances, and many of them was, of course, gifted to me. Many of them I bought. I paid full retail for a lot of them. What ultimately matters to me is the juice inside that bottle. I don't care about the presentation that much. I don't care about the atomizer that much. Yes, of course, nicer presentation, great. Nicer atomizer, great. But the juice, that's where it matters, right? That's where, you pay the money for. Now, let's also briefly talk about clone houses, then we'll wrap up the video. Guys, look, I have a very popular clone with me. It's 9 p.m. from Afnan. This is supposed to smell like Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Mall. It does. It does. It's smooth. It's well done. The presentation is very, very beautiful. It has all the standards that, if this was released by any other major house, they would say oh, this is their take on Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Mall, right? It's not their take, they're cloning it, right? But you have this literally in the designer realm, and no one bats an eye. Nobody cares, right? You have Luna Russa Carbon, for example. Luna Russa Carbon is, it's a copy, it's a clone. Nobody says anything because they are not Middle Eastern. Now, I don't have any problem with clone houses per se, or designers that take inspiration. Of course, that's how fragrance community has always been, right? Someone makes something very successful and you try to emulate their success again and again and again, which of course very normal. Point is this: clone houses are not a danger for designer houses that are, one, competitive. I mean, like, they come up with their original formulas, they try to be groundbreaking, they're bold and daring, and two, they are fair in terms of pricing, right? Some of these fragrance houses nowadays, designer houses especially, they charge outlandish prices. Some of the prices I see, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna pay that, and nobody should, honestly, right? Sometimes you have the money and you really want something, you pay for it, no problem. But the point is this: is it worth the money? And in these cases, like most of the cases I see nowadays, it is not. So people turn to clone houses. If you take a look at Fragrantica right now, the most popular brand there is Latafa. There's a reason for that. I see, fragrance influencers on TikTok, also your average Joe on the street. Everyone is talking about Latafa, Afnan, I don't know, like all these clones. There's a reason. Good quality and fair pricing. Of course, you get the same juice in terms of smell, or at least like it's 90% close, and you get a very nice presentation plus a fair price. Yes, I understand they are cheaper to produce, but how much cheaper? So some of the designer houses are, they are receiving their own karma because they charge too much. Well, I understand it's a part of the trend, the industry, blah, 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 blah. Point is this: some of them have been, of course, the prices creep up a little bit. Yeah, sure. But some of them, outrageous. So if you want a fragrance and you think the designer house, or the niche house for that matter, is charging you too much, get the clone. There's nothing wrong with it. And for most people that they don't have massive collections, or they don't really care about, like having this tiny, like a beautiful bottle on the shelf or whatnot, get the clone. There's nothing wrong with it. And they are getting better and better and better day by day. While some designer houses are just, moving backwards, they're moving forward. They are hiring elite perfumers. They are, making groundbreaking scents, independent scents. And of course, this is how the winners win. Thank you for listening to my thoughts on the matter, and being here. If you like the video, guys, please subscribe. It helps me grow faster, and I can bring more content to you, hopefully. If you have your own take or your comment, please leave it in the comment section down below, and I get to you as soon as I can. See you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.